Big Brother can track all your Bitcoin transactions, but Monero wipes the trail clean, giving you perfect anonymity online, which is why tyrannical governments like the European Union hate Monero and want to bring in their own central bank digital currencies so they can monitor, track, and restrict your financial transactions. Today we're looking at the 5 tactics that Monero uses to protect your privacy. We're comparing it against Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at some technical analysis to see what Monero looks like from an investment standpoint for the remainder of the 2025 bull run. So moving into the 5 ways that Monero protects your privacy, and the first one is ring signatures. So with Bitcoin, everything's on the blockchain. When one user sends money to another user, the receiver address is tracked, the sender address is tracked, and the amount is tracked. So the first way that Monero works is when you send money from one person to another, it's mixed in with 10 other sender addresses. So it just creates a lot of noise and it's impossible to say where the true transaction originated from. The second way is stealth addresses. So if I send money to the same person, every week, so 52 times in a year, for every transaction, a new unique address will be created for the receiver. So it's never going to be sent to the receiver address. So it just adds a bit of confusion. If you were trying to look back at where the transactions were going, you wouldn't be able to see like one address sent this money to this address 52 times. So the receiver address is masked and the sender address is also masked as well. And then the second way is Dandelion++. So with Bitcoin, your IP address is also going to be tracked on the blockchain, and that's forever. But when you send money with Monero, before it gets to the blockchain, it's rerouted through multiple different IP addresses. So you send it and it goes to this IP address, this IP address, this IP address, and this IP address, and then it's sent to the receiver. So far we've got the sender address is masked and it's mixed in with all other sender addresses. The receiver address is uniquely created every time, so it uses a unique address for every transaction. And then your IP address is also masked by pinging it to different IP addresses before it reaches the blockchain. The fourth way is ring confidentiality transactions. So if you wanted to pay for your lunch with Bitcoin, the exact amount that you spent every day for lunch will be tracked on the blockchain forever, and people will be able to see your statement and how much you actually have in that address and all the transactions you ever made. And with ring confidential transactions with Monero, the amount is hidden. So it just says this sender, which you can't see anyway, sent a certain amount of money. It doesn't say the amount, and it says to this receiver, which is also hidden from the blockchain. Then the fifth one is just there's no blockchain tracking. So everything with Bitcoin is written on the blockchain and it's there forever. But with Monero, it's never written to the blockchain in the first place. So you can't go back and actually analyze what happened. So you can see that with those 5 all working in unison, that Monero offers pretty good privacy, and it's impossible to track transactions, especially if you wanted to gain privacy over a large amount of money. You could use Monero to move it from one address to another, and then you could do it again, and then you could do it again, and it would be practically almost impossible to track where that money originated from, and you could take it in to a new account and kind of use it like new. So you can see how that would help criminals, but then at the same time, cash has always been private. So before the digital world, you would have got your pay packet every week, and that was your cash to spend as you chose, and people couldn't see what you were spending the money on. It's just since all the digital currencies and Visa debit cards and online banking came in, that kind of privacy has gone out the window. But with coins like Monero, we get to take some of that privacy back, which I think is definitely a good thing. And with the new Trump regime, which seems to be more supportive of privacy online, especially with these financial instruments, I think the future is looking good from a macro standpoint for Monero. And then when we come in here to TradingView to look how it looks from a technical analysis standpoint, in terms of if you wanted to invest in the coin, you can see here that it had its peak back in mid 2021 at the height of the bull run, And since then it came into a bear market and it's been ranging ever since. So one good thing about it is it's almost like a stable coin. It's not that volatile, and at the moment, if we are going to have the rest of the bull run in 2025, then I think this could be a good bet, especially with the new regime coming in, maybe even to hit that all-time high again. Yeah, so we're currently 54% down from the all-time high, and if we were to get back up, it would be 115% gain, so like a 2x. And then comparing it against BTC, which is more realistic, and we can see when BTC is rallying and going up, then BTC is definitely doing better than Monero, and we can see that clearly. But then when Bitcoin starts to go down, the Monero price tends to do better than Bitcoin. So Monero can be like a hedge in your portfolio. So when Bitcoin gets to those high valuations, you could switch some out to Monero, and then when Bitcoin starts to fall, Monero will be gaining in value against Bitcoin. So from an investment standpoint, it doesn't look too bad. It looks less volatile. It's not like a meme coin or a shit coin or something like that. You can hold it and it will hold its value. And when BTC starts to come down, the value of Monero starts to come up in relation to Bitcoin. 3 million, which is quite decent. So the token's not inflationary. It's a good investment in that it's not that volatile. And if you want to pick yourself up some Monero, you can go to some good exchanges here like KuCoin and MEXC and HTX. But KuCoin does